Hey guys, good morning. I am just getting set up. Can't spell this morning. All right. Hey, good morning. I'm still getting set up right now. I am just going to let a few candles run. We're still near all-time highs. And let's look real fast. SPY. What was the top of the implied move here? So we opened kind of midway. I didn't set up the way I always do. I did, but I didn't. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So, okay, so that is, yeah, right here. So we have the expected move was $4.29. Let's see if that's what I have. 385 and 428. I wasn't planning on getting in right away, so I didn't quite get this finished. All right, so this is our expected move. There we go. Now I'm in the right one. Okay. So from right here, 647 to 654 in SPY. So really we just opened right in the middle of that trading range. Last night, guys, after I logged off towards the end of the day, I don't know if you saw, but we basically opened at the top of the implied move, which was absolutely amazing. And then we took it all the way back down to the 35 EMA. This is one of my absolute favorite when it comes to options, but really when we make new all-time highs in pre-market, a lot of times we'll pull right back down to that 35 EMA. So I will get started here shortly. I'm not rushing to take a position, maybe just let a couple of candles run, see where we're hovering above resistance. We're not even close yet. Sorry, support. So I'm just going to go finish making my coffee. I'll be back really soon. We'll see how this morning starts and we'll get into something here. You can see support is red down here too. So, all right, I'll be back. Won't be long. right, so first 3 candles here. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's so awesome to have you guys here. Yes, taking it slow at all-time highs today. We might see a slower, choppier day. I am all for that. I strangely trade chop really well. But being at all-time highs, so yesterday, yeah, we tapped, we just made slight new all-time highs here. And we're midway up the implied move. Let's get back to MES here. For you guys that are just getting here, yesterday, after we traded yesterday, we saw this amazing move, and I always like to draw attention to it just because of how awesome the 35 EMA is. What time is data? What data are you talking about? CPI, we already had that in pre-market. At 8:30, we had a slight rise in CPI. So yesterday we started up here, and that was right at the top of the expected move. We made new highs in pre-market, and then we brought it all the way back down to the 35 EMA. That is one of my absolute favorite plays. Honestly, would have been a great short, but we took it long and did good. Yeah, CPI was in pre-market already. And I might start, I'm still pretty new to doing live streams, but I might definitely start live streaming the data. That way we can see the market reaction and go into it from there. So that would be an hour earlier. But right now, you can see we did hit those highs from yesterday, and then we are pulling back from that. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's really good to be clean here. I was in the same situation, which is why off to a slightly late start. Later than I wanted to. I just slept really deep last night. All right, so we're 3 candles in here and pulling back. What are we looking for support? We can start here on the 1 minute. And let's just see how we react here. .23%. So maybe let's start here with just a small. I'll go in heavier. I know I'm just gonna really start one at a time, but I don't think I'm gonna trade one at a time all day. I just wanna kind of feel this level here. So we're on the 1 minute time frame. So far, a little bit bullish here, just on the 1 minute. Obviously we gapped up, so we're gonna see these kind of signals, but this is where we have support. So if we can hold this, then maybe we can go a little bit more in. So let's just add a few levels here. That's our support on this time frame. It's all crooked. All right, so imported to the 5 minute time frame, and maybe let's see what volatility looks like off of that level. So yeah, let's go ahead and add a few buy orders. Maybe start this position. And sentiment after the CPI report wasn't that bad. It wasn't a great report, but it wasn't that bad. And really, inflation is good for stocks. It's not good for people, but it's good for stocks. And it has been keeping the market moving higher. I mean, sometimes I feel like we won't really see a meaningful pullback or deeper correction until we maybe see deflation in the reports. And as far as where we are now, it wasn't that bad, not for the market. All right, so far, saw that 1 minute chart as support. Could just be a technical bounce. I will be looking to add soon. Right, it's not a whole bunch, but let's just close that in, because we did take it to the top of what volatility is showing me. This is on the 1 minute time frame. If you ever want to measure volatility, just reset your chart on the 1 minute time frame and use this little tool right here, that's the long tool, and just drop it, and it'll show you, right now we're dealing with a 0.12% opening volatility. And that's not bad. That's good movement. Alright, so we will get back in. Let's trade by twos today. So we'll start with adding two. You can see we pulled back from that volatility level, but let's get back in. And kind of measure out where to add here. So you're already up position here. Nice. Yeah, I'm okay with taking that. We're just at all-time highs. I don't know how long I want to let positions run. I love catching a good green run, but we're so high up that taking small profits a little bit at a time. So we're up just maybe $30 here so far. Alright, so still looking pretty bullish here on the 1 minute. Let's look at that 5 minute. We're still really high above support. We did get a green cloud here, green forecast. So let's see. Alright, let's take it back to the 1 minute. And measure out where we can add. Right here, 65, 54, 50. Let's add two more right there. That would be right there with support. And we got that green cloud. And that's 0.12%. I want to SPY put, but I'm not sure what's feasible. It is a scary day. Definitely when we have data, it is definitely scary because you almost want to see how the market is going to interpret the data. And right now, as far as puts go, I don't really love buying puts or calls. I mean, I really trade spreads. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to bet on we close lower today, or because bull put spreads are bullish, just naked puts are obviously bearish, but it's and we are at all-time highs. But as far as the expected move on the day, we're really right in the middle of it, which, let me see where. Yeah, so we're right in the middle of the expected move right here. So between 647, 657. So puts, I don't know, I would buy those more. So often if you do want to target, I mean, look at how we do come back to the 35 EMA. So if we do start slipping, which that's not what it's looking like right now, then 35 EMA, but maybe do that if you start seeing some bearish signals. I don't think the market is also moving weirdly due to all the news headlines. Yeah, I don't really think so. I mean, it's also 9/11. It's people's minds are elsewhere right now, but I don't think that Charlie's moving the markets at all. Eddie, it's my dog. I really don't like to focus on news at all. That the market sometimes moves on news, but usually it moves on technicals. I mean, obviously we've seen like that drop in pre-market with CPI, but now that we're steadied out, yeah, it is 9/11, yeah. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of that, but 9/11 is probably doing more for this slow market than anything else. So look, we've got a nice move up. Let's get back into MES and see where we are. $25, 27. Yeah, I'll go ahead and lock that in. I think we took 27.50 there. Slow and steady at all-time highs. I love making hundreds and thousands of dollars in a trade. I'm not thinking that's going to be today. I do want to make 1,500 though, so slow and steady. I think we can definitely do that. See how we go. All right, so we have support right here. It's lower. You can see we usually trade like, okay, this is looking at yesterday. We gapped up and then we consolidated back to support. So right now we're kind of running away, so definitely lock in profits. You can always get back in, but take profits as you go. And yeah, I'm really feeling just a sideways, maybe consolidation day here. I don't think we're gonna run away too fast. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback. This is 5 minute. Let's look at 1 minute, and you could see right here. So this is where we entered 1 minute time frame. We hit super trend. We had ATR underneath us, and then that 35 EMA on the 1 minute. All of that really caught us, and we're still looking bullish here. So let's actually just keep trading on the 1 minute until it breaks. Then we'll move over to the 5, and then we'll back that up with the 30. These time frames are like key in intraday. All right, so I would like to get back in a little bit under where I got out. So maybe wait for a little pullback. That's fine. All right. Can I see the SPX chart? Of course, and I have to say, I didn't really build it out yet today. All right, let me put stuff up on my other screens real fast before I get into SPX. And actually, let me just put in my order here. So we're up 0.42% today so far. Okay, so we're gonna add down here 65.56. Take profits up here at 65.75. And I'm liking this price action today. Hold on, give me 1 second on SPX. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and lock that in. All right, I'll come back and look at what we're doing here. SPX, okay. So expected move in SPX today was $42.28. Oh good, I did put it in already. So I just didn't put the numbers in. And look at that beautiful candle. So looking at this on the 30-minute time frame, yesterday when we came back down to the super trend ATR level here, 35 EMA, we got a buy signal this morning actually. So we got this sell signal here that gave us resistance here, and right now we are trading above that. So 65.55 is where we should see support today. Top of the implied move. I don't have the implied move for tomorrow. I do, but I don't. Yeah, I did put that in. Okay, so we're looking at 65.75. 65.75 as the top of the day. We are pushing that way. And then bottom 64.87. And then if you were looking for, I didn't add tomorrow's because I was slacking this morning. So tomorrow is $5.20, I'm sorry, $52.80 in each direction. There you go. So that makes tomorrow 64. I take that to 64.75. You can do 64.80. I put 64.87. Okay, yeah, let's take that to an actual strike. 64.85 for today. And then 42.80, is that what I put in? It's 52.80. Let's try this again. 64.75 is gonna be, yeah, 64.75 and 65.85. So $10 wide spreads up here. There you go. SPX. So the only levels in SPX today are the 35 EMA, and you can see how consistently we've been returning to that. So if we do start turning back, maybe seeing some bearish signals, that 35 EMA is the target. Previous all-time highs could add to that support level. Obviously we have new all-time highs, but sorry, those aren't previous all-time highs. What am I thinking? Right here. Yeah, so that could add a little support to right here where we saw that signal yesterday at 65.56. So we're on to the second 30-minute candle. I don't know how we are open for 30 minutes already, but it's pulling back a little bit. So let me get back. Good little run up. Yeah, that was nice. I don't think I made a whole lot off of that. I'm probably like $70 so far, which, I mean, in the first half hour, I'm not complaining. It's not bad. All right, let's take it. To right here. Still have pretty strong green momentum. You think just because we have a little run up that we can't keep going. That is a mistake I made many times. All right, let's hop back in with 2. A little higher than I got out. That's okay. .16% for this local volatility here, so buy 2 under here. It takes us near support. Sell 2 here unless I take it sooner. So we're pushing into the green a little bit here. Alright, so I'm gonna flip to the 5-minute chart. Let's focus more here today because we are still pretty high above support. What is VIX doing right now? VIX is down 2.67%. Let's take a look at VIX. VIX in the red here, clearly. Moving up a little bit. Alright, so price is pushing higher. I do like this to start the day. I do. My squeaky chair. Looking for 657. Pull that up on another screen here. Yeah, that's the top of our expected move, definitely. We are kind of slowly squeezing in that direction, aren't we? And this is a squeeze momentum indicator down here. Yeah, my chair is so squeaky. So comfortable though. Oh my god, I can't tell you how comfortable this chair is. So I will take the squeak for how comfortable it is. $6.57 call. Okay, so we need to push all the way to the top. Go ahead and lock that in just a little bit here. Let's pop back in with 2. Set this back up. I did switch accounts if you guys saw that. Hoping to get a little continuation of this same type of price here, but let's set it up. Okay, that little move up. Okay, good. Where are we going to add and where are we going to take profit? Good question to ask right when you get in. What's your target? Where are you adding? So we'll sell up here. And I've been taking profits before that because we are getting, even though we're kind of pushing up, our volatility is also increasing. So I like this. Up 21. Yep, $21. I'm scared of this volatility, as always. Volatility is 100% the greatest thing. And this isn't huge volatility right here. Just need to know directionally, like if we pull back, where should we expect to add, and where I'm using a strategy that I don't use every single day. I use it more in choppy directional trading, or non-directional trading. So kind of what I'm hoping for here is if we come up and say we take it to the top of the implied move and then we just stay sideways into the day. I don't know if you guys notice how often where we open, from like where we open to where we close, is a channel, a tradable channel. It's not huge, but we'll see. $6.60 call from yesterday. That is a tough one, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna lock in a little bit right here. All right, so I'm gonna looking for entries on the 1 minute chart and then flipping over to the 5 minute. But look at 1 minute, all you see is green here. So trade the trend until we get a signal pointing otherwise. Would like a little pullback candle here. It's fine, that's under where I let it go. So here we are going to add at 65, 65. That's a cool number. And then take profit up here. It's a whichever hits first situation. So we'll add or take profits, and all right, so let's head back to 5 minute here. Okay, down a little bit on this one. And I showed you how green we were on the 1 minute time frame, and here we're also pretty green. So we've got that green forecast. Lagging span is above all of our red levels here and above the cloud, and we have green momentum. So let's trade this trend until we start seeing something different. $23 to spend on options. Oh, naked options are tough. I mean, would I take any of them? $23. I mean, that would take you outside of today's expected move. Either calls. $6.51. Look how far $6.51 is away from the expected move. $6.51 would be like if we got into the red from here and down by tomorrow or yesterday's lows. I don't know. I'm not feeling either one of those. If I had to choose right now, I would do calls, just because that is, you could see clearly that's just where we're pushing. I wouldn't touch the puts. But I'm really, really good at being wrong with options, unless it's spreads. Spreads, I do great. Like, I would definitely consider bear call spreads if we got up. If you can get yourself to have like $150 in there, I'll call out a good spread in SPY next time I see it. Spreads are easier to trade. All right, where are we? Oh, thank you. Yeah, levels are important to understand. And yeah, ES and SPY are perfect together. They are. The price action is very similar. All right, we're about to close out this candle. I might add a little bit here. Small amount. Okay, so added just one here. So we're up to 3, but we have 2 down here to fill. And let's move that take profit just a tick in each direction. Good morning, Grumpy. You want to see SPX, of course. SPX. Expected move in SPX is 64.85 to 65.75. 64.75 tomorrow, 65.85. So some pretty decent spreads in each direction. We're kind of, the range is pretty good today because it was $42.80 in each direction, but now we are just midway up that trading range. So we still have a little ways to go to the outer edges here, and we are bullish on a lot of time frames. This 30-minute you could see is bullish, but we're at the top, not the top of the range. We are kind of hovering above this gap. So, but definitely some targets up there to look for. A little pullback here. Alright, we're taking entries on the 1 minute, flipping over to the 5 minute. And even on this 5 minute, you could see we're still pretty high above support, which support is a funny thing. It doesn't mean we have to drop down to it. We can consolidate and wait for it to come up, which is kind of what you're seeing here with that. Now we're starting to push back up a little bit. We're back in the green. Awesome, you made money going up. I love that. I'm not going short yet. I don't personally think that we have any signals yet, but it's definitely possible. Like right now, on all the time frames that matter intraday, we're bullish. So 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute. Let's look at 15. I didn't look at 15 yet, and that does offer. So in the 15 minute, we're definitely pretty far away from support. You can see the cloud here with the 35 EMA. Let me look at 35 EMA here. Yeah, so look at yesterday how, oh, sorry, this is 30 minute. I think I switched it accidentally. Okay, so yeah, that's a 30 minute, 35 EMA here. And then we got that 15 here. So here we also gapped up above previous resistance from yesterday that we made as we filled the gap. So right here, this, you could see previous resistance and then support just underneath it. So let's add that level right here. Okay. Places to catch us, right? We do tend to see technical bounces at those levels. Momentum here on the 1 minute falling, but let's take it back to the 5 minute. You're trading slow today. It's not just me, it's the market. added one here to make it 4. Oh, I see what I did. Switch that from 2 to 1 accidentally. Alright, so now we have 4. Awesome. Are you going to trade futures here too? And iPad, what are you running on your iPad? iPad runs a lot of things great, but the only thing it doesn't run super smooth is TradingView. And that's what I use. I trade within the charts here, so. Do you do any long-term or dividends? No. I'm completely in cash at the end of the night, both in options and futures. And that way I sleep really good. Closed your short, yeah. And you're trading futures, right? I mean, you can trade this short if you're trading this short. Wherever I go in, instead of buying down here, sell down here, and buy up here. Just do it in reverse. You can. I mean, most days you can. Unless we're just pushing up, there's those days where we're just pushing up and nothing else. You can't. You can trade both sides. Yesterday, I definitely could have. Definitely, yesterday was a huge, awesome short day, and I traded it bullish. But I could have traded it. I could have been short and done fine too. So just choose your bias and just trade it. I think today. I feel like today is going to give us a lot of chop. And it's so far, I mean, the indicators are green. That's really what I'm playing off of, but I'm sure there's going to be some decent moves in both directions. Still really small position here, just 4 contracts, especially since we're so high up. I like the way you average into your positions. Yeah. I don't like to go all in. You know, I don't ever claim to know what direction it's going. I just know that, you know, if it pulls back, I know exactly where I'm going to add, and if it goes up, then I have a target there as well. So right now we're in the green. I'd love to see a few ticks into this. And the more contracts you add as you build the position, each tick pays more. So love to see a little run to those the top of the expected move here. Can we get a runner here? Alright, so it didn't lock in there. Go ahead and add one here. And try this again. Bought the 658 call. All right, well, let's push this up. Let's go. Price is being a little stubborn here. Yeah, if we took it to 658, that would be so good for my position right here. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and lock that in. It's a small win, but it's really choppy, so I'm just kind of, and I'll get back in with 2 instead of 5 that I had. So basically unloaded 3 here, took a little bit of profit, and slow and steady today. It's just crazy sometimes when you think of how high up we are. So here we're gonna have, we consolidated back to the cloud. So yesterday that we ended up going underneath that once we got there. I don't know if this was the most recent. Yeah, okay. I know I set my take profit targets, but I usually take profits before then manually, but just in case I like get up or get away for a second, I have everything set to just automatically. NQ is not partaking in the ES run up. That is funny. I'll switch over in just a second. Alright, that was just another 15. So far I'm up $100 on the other account, then 100 on this one. So nothing crazy. Okay, this is another interesting signal that I do see often is we'll go up, you'll stair step up, then we'll see like this dip right here. But then we saw it curl back up. So this is still holding as support. You could see that the lagging span, now once it enters the price here, that's when we really start consolidating, but it like used that price to swing up. So still bullish. Netflix is spilling. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I'll pull that up on another monitor here. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a nasty drop, huh? What happened there? Anyone know? So Netflix dropped from pretty much 12.56 to 12.17. That's a big drop. Starting to see some. Yeah, let's pull that up real fast just because it's a really interesting chart. Look at that. 12.54, let's call it. I mean, obviously it's been showing signs of slipping here, but then now it just down 3%. Starting to see some green candles here, but not bullish yet. But I mean, if I don't know what the news is, but this right here would be maybe me looking at a possible swing, but I'm not going to trade Netflix. But very cool. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys see anything happening out there, a lot of times I'm just so hyper focused on ES, but what's so NQ's running. Look at that. Definitely a lot more choppy. A lot more choppy. We're going pretty much just straight up. I mean, this is a beautiful run right here. I'm not gonna lie. Now, okay, getting a little bit of a pullback candle. Not much of a pullback candle. Zoom in. Okay, so we're going to zoom into, I don't have a position right now. Zoom in to 1 minute. Okay, and we consolidated, well, we didn't really quite consolidate to the cloud. We're just kind of trading basically what it's doing. Alright, so right here we saw that dip. Sometimes we get another push up. I'm gonna wait here I'm gonna keep trading this the way I have been. I just want to see a little pullback here. Maybe 65, 78, something like that. And that would be lined up right with that previous high right here. So funny on days like this where we just keep grinding up. I mean, honestly, we just only have bullish signals here. So this is 1 minute, 5 minute. Let's see, green forecast. Green lagging span. It is, yeah, the market being this high is definitely scary, but we didn't get any sell-off volume from, what's volume looking at on SPY? I mean, look at how low this volume is. This is lower than it was yesterday. So we got basically that's telling me that we got the report and it did not cause a sell-off. It doesn't, with this low volume, we're not going to get, yeah, considering the world economic conditions, yeah, the economy is not the market, and it never will be. So the economy can be, really rough, and will still continue to grind higher. The market's designed to, benefit the people that are holding the assets, and it is still benefiting them. So until it's not, just trade the trend. Yes, it's been high for a really long time. And so far no real, look at the 1 year chart. I mean, no real sell signal, right? Nothing, just it's bullish. So that's the 1 day time frame. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I haven't looked at it yet. I will, I promise, Rob. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, because it's nice to know what other time frames are doing. But here we are above the expected move in SPY. So what did it have for the next day? I didn't put the next day, so okay, so let's just assume $1 wider. So 658. Yeah, I'm glad you closed your short too. Honestly, I don't recommend shorting just because we're high. I only short when we have signals, that signal downside. You will, this could grind up higher all day. I don't even, somebody, oh my gosh, it made me laugh so hard because it was somebody on Stock Twits and I was just like, wow, this is just grinding higher and higher. And somebody wrote like, oh yeah, the old ramp and camp, and we can come up here and we can stay here for the rest of the day. We don't have to pull back. We don't have to do anything. But the indicators are bullish. We're not, there's no reason to go short yet. And even when there is, usually there's time to get into it. Like my favorite short from last week, and I wasn't doing lives yet, but this was a really super short right here, see? And I don't remember what this was for. It was PCE, I think. PCE data. And, you know, we can go back and look at like what did that even look like as far as indicators go, you know? So here we were bullish, and then a few candles later we got that sell signal. That really was it. So you got a sell signal right here, and this is on the 5-minute time frame. And then from there, look at how that dropped beautifully. And I wrote that all the way down. But wait for a sell signal. Like, don't go short until, because it'll come back down, it'll hit ATR. And that's when you know you're like, okay. And you can at least, maybe it won't be short, maybe it'll bounce there, but then you can take profits. Yes, definitely hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, we're outside the implied move and holding. So I'm really just gonna be, I've been chatting. I didn't get back in, but I don't think it's far from where I got out. Let's get back to MES. And we went away from my buy limit, so let's get in with another 2. This price action, I think we're okay. All right, we are back in. Let's take a look at VIX. VIX down 2%. That's not a huge down, but it is. So what happens when VIX comes down after we have data is that it basically kills options, and especially puts, especially people that like bought puts out in time. They're just sure that inflation data was going to bring us down. And this price action here is killing all those options, and it's pushing the price up. So whether the push up is justified or not, options are going to push it higher. So until that plays out, we are bullish. Do we have any gaps that have to fill? We have a ton of gaps. But none in today's specific trading range, except for this morning. So morning gap, we're outside of the implied move, so if we camp up here, we probably aren't closing that gap. We've got the cloud on multiple time frames kind of holding us out of filling that gap. And unless something crazy happens here, we have a decent amount of support between here and there. For sure, I will let you know if, we hit any signals. All right, we are on the next candle, so I will just add just one here. And then let's set up the buy targets and sell targets. So we're on the 5 minutes, drop to the 1. Okay, get rid of this order. Okay, so we're going to take profits here, very high outside of the implied move, but probably take targets before, profit before then, and then buy 2 right here. Sell 3 up here. Of course, I sold my 660 calls earlier for a loss, and it's going up. Yeah, we are definitely. I feel like we're gonna camp up here, even though I still have Netflix pulled up and it's still dropping. I mean, could that be a catalyst? Yeah. Yeah, if it doesn't catch here, market might get a little spooked. Are you trying to trade like me? Options are so tough to do directionally because you can be totally right and still end up red. Alright, still holding above support. And the 1 minute time frame is obviously going to be the first time frame to show any kind of red signal. You know, and right now we have 1 minute green, 1 minute bullish, 5 minute bullish, 15 and 30. So we've got support even if we drop. Being right yet in the red is so confusing to me. Yes, that is one of the most wild things about options. You could be on the right strikes and you might be red until the very end. It's pretty wild, but it's one of those things that help with things like futures. Like right now I'm down. You know, but being red before being green is so common. It's a good skill. And you guys saw I had to stomach a big red move before getting into the green yesterday. That was pretty wild, but that's why you don't want to go too big right away. You can build into it and build up. Give yourself room to be wrong. Alright, let's pull up the 15 minute. I'm doing that on another screen, but just looking at a few other charts. Curling down a little bit here. No, you can definitely retrain your mind to trade it differently. in here. Okay, pulling back a little bit. I love it. The next place that we're going to add is basically where we already have an order. Right here. And got a reasonable amount of volatility here, so that's a good amount down. And okay. So in SPY, we did just tap the top of the implied move. So that curl, we kind of curled back into the implied move. Take a look at that in SPY. Look at that. So right there, that 657, which, isn't that funny that the high of the day was 657 to the penny. We literally hit 657 right here and then took it back into the implied move. So beautiful, beautiful. It's an overbought level. It just is. Alright, I'll look to add in about another minute. Alright, let's just add one here. Bring that take profit just a little closer. Alright, next ad is down here. Alright, still holding above support. Let's see how we're looking on the 1 minute. Okay, so we did get a red signal here. 1 minute is going to be the first to show it. which gives us a resistance here. So my average is just underneath that. So if we get up into here, definitely take profits, which I've been doing anyway, pretty quickly. Candle turned green there for a second here. This happens a lot. We'll get a first sell signal. It'll fake a lot of people out, and then we'll pop back up. I'm not saying that has to happen, but it does happen a lot. So let's see if we can get this candle green. If it does close green, I will add one here. It has to close green. Just closed green, add a one, bring that take profit level a little closer. We just have a small position here, it's just 6 contracts. I saw NQ, yeah, it's so choppy. It's so choppy. ES has been basically straight up all day. All right, getting a little push here. Let's push back into the green. This always gives us a good target to aim for. Now I want to buy a call, maybe. It's a 5-minute chart. All right, we're back in the green. Let's see if we can get maybe a little bit, pull out a little bit of just added one more. We're still up 0.67%. VIX is still falling. was that target on the 1 minute? All right, let's just lock in 35. This is just so high up, and we did get that initial sell signal here. So I'm gonna wait a minute here because we came back in. This cloud, of course, it's still green. We're still bullish, but we just have the one signal here, and I did just see right here, little tick back here. So hang in for just a few minutes. I will be looking for, I'm probably going to go make some coffee and then come back and see what it's doing. I want to see if this is the type of price action by 11 that maybe we will see a flip in the forecast here. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of time, I think. And then I'm gonna leave on the screen. I'm gonna leave up, I think, SPX or SPY. Let's do that because we're so high up in the trading range that yes, we can absolutely camp up here, but let's give it a little bit of time, enough time for me to make coffee, and then I'll come back and see. Look at that, 4 candles straight up, and again, that's killing puts right now. So we might not be moving on anything but just puts blowing up right here. But until, we've got such low volume that I think we could see a little bit of a pullback here and back into the implied move. All right, guys, I'll be back. Out of my squeaky chair. All right, guys, I am back, and clearly we did not get a pullback. In fact, it's higher now. Okay, so let's just keep trading this as if we are. So after many years of looking at price and what happens once we get like this outside of the implied move on a day that there's data, I think we're gonna stay here and we're gonna stay sideways. So probably not a huge pullback, and price might not move very fast from here. It's probably be like between 0.68, 0.72, maybe a little wider, but small tight range. That's what I'm guessing with this. Of course, if things change, but look, we're so high outside of the implied move. We're at all-time highs. Puts blowing up everywhere except for on Netflix. And let's just go with that. Because we are super bullish today in the technicals. And that's how we have to trade it. So funny. Price action has always made me laugh. Poor Netflix. Netflix got like slapped in a big way. All right, and we're running. So this is where we might see some nice volatility. Maybe it's that 11 o'clock hour that, all right. And we will add just a little bit underneath the cloud. On the 1 minute. All right, let's take it to the 5. Support has been kind of catching up, so support is just underneath where I have that next buy order. So just going back to the 1 minute time frame here, just take a quick look at here where we did get that initial sell signal. It was only on this time frame, and it was very short-lived because we had the 35 EMA catch us, and then we had this other support. So just because it was red for just a minute here, we did end up seeing that as, this is where I took profit right here, and then we did come back up. So definitely these levels right here, and you see once we do break up, pushes up pretty fast. So it's interesting stuff. Sometimes it's good to take like half profit, let the other half run. That is not what I did because I needed coffee. just add one more because it feels like we're just being held up today. Okay, so we're at 3. Something is holding us up, and we have a fully bullish setup. Even though we are still pretty high up. 0.17% volatility here for this trade. Oh my god, this coffee is amazing. I don't normally do pumpkin spice this early, but I did, and it is so good. So Tesla is moving, carrying this move. Is that what we have? Oh, I did read something about Tesla last night, and I think something like Elon Musk. And Tesla did something as a company itself, but Elon Musk also lost his title of richest person in the world, which I thought was interesting. So. Let's look at Tesla while we're sitting here. Yeah, it looks kind of just like our chart, doesn't it? Yeah. I wonder why NQ was so choppy. Probably a mix of this and Netflix. I love that you guys are telling me what's going on. And then of course, if you guys ever need like expected moves or strikes for here and to read a chart, but look at that. So that was open and then straight up. That's pretty. That's what has us moving, definitely. So Netflix was down through a little over 3%, and then Tesla up almost 4%. Yeah, thank you guys. You are awesome for keeping me in the loop. I do tend to space out directly into these charts only, and I don't always, unless I'm doing like posting earnings charts and stuff like that, I'm not even really looking. So that's awesome. That makes me really happy. Thank you. What's the next level to look for after 657? I didn't see that. Someone just lost 50,000 in one of the Discord groups. Yeah, yesterday I was told that yesterday was really bad for a lot of traders too, and it's a big reason that during PPI and CPI I trade really, really slow. Sometimes I'll trade ES, which is much bigger, and sometimes I'll trade MES, which is really, really much smaller, and I'll be really slow. So that's the kind of day, PPI and CPI really, really slow. Tomorrow, I don't think we have a whole lot of data. I will be double checking that, but tomorrow I'll probably, start with bigger positions, and, you could have like I had a really small day today so far, like what? We're up maybe $250, but that's better than losing 50,000. It's just slow and steady sometimes on days like this where market's a little more uncertain. You don't know how it's going to interpret the reports. But yeah, what do you guys think about me streaming the reports and the market reaction? I think that would honestly be a cool way to set up for days like this. See how it reacts in pre-market. Oh yeah, what's the next level after 657 to look for? Are you trading like really near term, like swinging these, or day trading them? Or I'm sorry, like multiple days. Stream it all. Just stream all day. Just let it run. So 657, and we got a little bit above that to just under 658, which was tomorrow's implied move. So I'm gonna say that for today, I would say if we keep moving, this might be a stretch. 659, I don't think we're gonna make it there, just because tomorrow's options will cap that. Let's look at options. Tomorrow, calls, there's a ton of open interest at 660, which is the top of the implied move for tomorrow. And that's probably the biggest strike I see. So yeah, 660 tomorrow. As far as puts go, there's not a ton of puts for tomorrow, so that could be where we go. The biggest one is outside of, within the one standard deviation. We're kind of down at 652. That's for tomorrow. And then today, you could see we have 657. Open interest is the highest. So I'm going to say that I think we close under 657. I think that those are going to get burned. 656 and 655 have a ton as well. So 654 would be within two standard deviations, because that's probably what we realistically have left in the day. The lowest one is at 654. So maybe a pullback to that. And on the put side, we've got, 653 would probably hold it up. 654, that's my final answer. Watch me go to 660. This price action's really just been really pushing up. 0.82 now. Let's look at my position. Okay, we're up $25. And it's probably too late in the game to roll a lot of those for people holding those. I like 664 or 665. Yeah, that's pretty high up there. Yeah, so this price action can be fun. It's not super exciting, but it's nice to just stay green and what to look for in case of, we don't have any signals. And really, again, with that 1 minute, you know, we did get that one signal. This was never enough to really turn us down. But yeah, we're just pushing higher, and that's a beautiful thing. So up 32. I'm gonna lock that in because I really honestly want to switch accounts again. I needed to get onto all three. But now let's do okay. Now that we've got at least a few trades on all three, this is where I'm gonna be. I would love a little pullback here. I'm gonna look at something real fast. So let's clear these indicators. I'm still congested. I don't know why, but if I sound really hoarse, that's why. It's the time of the year where I usually get allergies for a week or two. All right, so glad I locked that in. Let's throw on volume weighted average price, the VWAP. Okay, and you can see that we have been using this level as support all day. And this is a really great indicator. I use this one overnight a lot. .80%. That is so wild. Okay. Let's just buy two here at all-time highs. I never was a believer of buying anything at all-time highs, and then as a day trader, I'm like, cool, let's buy the top. All right. So let's put in some orders here. We're going to sell at newer all-time highs right here. I don't know if we'll make it there, but let's buy right here. And buy right here. And buy right here. Alright, I think that is a good game plan for this trade. I'm going to start with that. And it would be really funny if we just stayed sideways from here. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe. It's just... maybe like watching one tick up, one tick down. All right, let's flip back to intraday. Actually, let's look at, see how bullish we are. I mean, we're just solidly green on the day. The day started right here. We're green as can be. All right, so today, most likely we're not going to fill that gap today. This is going to stay open. We're just past that, I think, on the day. Oh my God, this coffee is so good. All right, and I am actually just going to add 1 here. So we have three MES contracts. That is not a big position at all. Oh my gosh, if we did make it to 664, 665, that would mess up so many people. It's not highly likely. 664 today has a 1% chance of ending in the money. Doesn't have a whole lot of open interest, and yeah, I wouldn't count on that. Like something really like amazing would have to happen. And I can't even imagine what that amazing thing would be, because we're just so high up in the trading range. Yeah, I mean, war doesn't always affect the market the way we think it should. Just stick to the technicals, we'll get sell signals before it's time. That's why I do pay attention to upcoming events in the market, but I don't watch the news. I don't really, no, I won't do it. Yeah, if you can understand technicals, you have the biggest edge, because everything you need to know is just written in them. All that stuff that people are watching on the news and freaking out about is being, between options and technicals, it's just being constantly shifted around. You don't have to get too crazy into current events to trade just fine. You want to know the basics, but the technicals hold a lot more than people realize. Everything's getting priced in real time, and you're just maneuvering around it. Add one more here. Okay, so we're up to 4. Still keeping that buy order right here, which is right above support. We've got that 35 EMA right here. Still have that green cloud. The only thing that's really against us is that we are above the implied move. Let's see where that is. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Yeah, still a little bit above it. I think we're going to actually close above the expected move. I think between, and here I'm just going to go ahead and put in, because for tomorrow it's 658. And 645. I honestly think we're gonna close in between today and tomorrow's implied move. I think that was always the target on the day, and I think we're just going to be trading in between that. Let's look at good old Stupid Willie. Stupid Willie is definitely overbought. We do not have a cross down yet, and if we do, the target is going to be the 35 EMA. So let's get that in there. This is on the 5-minute time frame. That's our target, and you could see that we clearly have 2, 4, 6 more contracts going in on that. So 35 EMA, if we get a red signal line, it often brings us back to the 35 EMA. So let's just have that in view. If you've been watching the nightly recaps for a while, you know that cross down here, next target's 35 EMA, and that's where we regroup, or, you know, in this case, add. Can leave it on this view for a few minutes. So I also found a really cool app that I can make music, AI music, and I'm not opposed to that, even though I do make music, and I've made music in like FL Studio and stuff like that, but I just don't have time for that now. So I found a really cool app to make music. So if you guys have a genre, I have a few new things. They're mostly instrumental. They kind of almost sound like classic rock, but instrumental, like no lyrics. But if you guys want to hear something, let me know. I'm gonna play with that later and make some music. Fill in some of the times when I don't talk or when I walk away. Alright, I'm gonna look to add in about a minute. Oh, allergies suck. Alright, so I'm going to add one more here. We are up to 5. Still a pretty small position, and then I didn't move these. So you could see that possible cross down here. And funny little thing that happens sometimes is that you think your mind wants to close this and turn it red, and it just won't yet. So don't look at it until it crosses. Might get this this trap. Let's take a look at. Because that's what I have my orders set on here. See if that's moved a little bit. Yeah, it did. So I just added, that's good. And we're gonna fill 2 more here. Then we'll move that order here. That one just filled. And that one right here. So we have 7 contracts of MES here, down 0.67, no, I'm sorry, up 0.67 still. VIX down still. Let's take a look at VIX. So up from open, but that's not really. Okay. So what did I say? This was our kind of where I said will be between 0.68 and 0.72, something like that. So let's see if that was a good read or not. Okay, so 5-minute time frame, we are sitting still just above support on super trend and ATR. This is a nice place to be sitting. And you could see we are still very green. My position's down, but we are green. We have bullish setup here with 3 support levels underneath us. And then let's go, I don't know what time frame I just went, that's still 5. So let's look at 30. There's a 35 EMA on a 30-minute time frame, one of my absolute favorite levels that there are. All right, so let's go. Just add a 1 right here. Okay, we're coming up a little bit. I like that, I like that. Are we gonna keep this crazy train going? Up. pushing up, we're pushing up, getting a crazy candle here. So let's set that sell order up here for 8 contracts, which is our position size here. All right, we're in the green. Let's see if we can make a little bit here. It's funny to have such low volume. Wow, that is, and especially on a day-to-day, it's really weird. I mean, this could be so much fun with volume. You just have to move a little faster, but otherwise it's this exact same thing. All right, we are in the green. Let's get a little push here. Let's get like a moon candle, like a good freaking moon candle. That's what I want to see. All right, let's push a little more here. Maybe make a newer high. Could we be that lucky? It's trying. Okay, I just added one more here. You guys are over there probably like, lock it. All right, let's just take that. I think we hit that at 86. I heard you speaking in fast forward mode. Oh, that's funny. Things sound so funny in fast forward. Or in was it 2x or something like that. Okay, so that was an $86 one. That not huge wins today. This was maybe one of my smaller days in a while. I think across the accounts it's maybe like 300. But you know, that's fine. That's fine. This is a tricky day. You know, it's hard to feel comfortable even trading this high. We're at all-time highs to begin with, and look at on the 5-minute time frame, we're pushing higher, momentum is falling. We do have that green support, but we're kind of far away from it. Well, at least the cloud. We do have this, which is awesome. We have definitely been trading that. So, but I'm still holding to, I think we're just going to be sideways today. That between that in SPY 657 to 658 range. Let's see where we are there. Oh, oops. So yeah, we're still outside of the expected move. Not only that, but we have support underneath it. So I think we are going to, would like a VWAP touch SPY. I know it's really far away, and on days like this, we really might actually, let's remove these indicators and put that on. It's very possible that we completely trade above it. This is just a day I've seen so many times. I'm not saying that's right here. I mean, it's not that far away. 655. Yeah, and if you were watching earlier, I pulled up options, and I think 654 was what I say. We could see 654, which is I mean, this is our volatility right now. It's $1 in each direction. It's so we're not really, I have it actually at $2 the way I calculate it, but $2 in each direction, 654 is definitely possible, but right now we are trading up and sideways with no sell signals yet. You know, we're back up to 0.8% up on the day. Today was an options day for sure. Yeah, it was, I mean, I'd say it was a futures day too, but it's depending on how you were playing options. If you were long, definitely. And then, you know, that money's got to transfer somehow. You know, it's going from puts to calls, and it's not exactly how it works, but you know what I mean. Those puts are holding this price up as they blow up. So selling a put is bullish. Okay, so we're not on the right chart. So even here on the VWAP, we're seeing that upper band as support. That midline is down here at 65.75. I do think I want to add, maybe start an order right here. I feel like this is too high, but I'd get in here. I feel like this is too high. I've said that so many times today, and just keep grinding higher, but that's often how these days go with data. This volume is torture. We'll make up for it the second half of the day. All right, I'm gonna wait for this pullback. I think we'll take it back to there. I feel like the rest of this day, I don't think we're going to see a big drop. I think we're going to consolidate here. I don't think we're going to blast up too much higher. I think we're going to trade sideways. So if you don't love choppy sideways trading, then the rest of the day might suck for you, but I actually don't mind it. What were we doing today here? Getting in on the 1 minute. Okay, today is a 0 pullbacks kind of day, little ones. Time to sell my calls. They do burn pretty quickly at this point. Yeah, you might want to look at this right here. Momentum falling on the 5 minute. Yeah, if you're up at like 664 for sure, I would not be in that. Oh, so 30-minute time frame, we still have that solid green momentum. We haven't really turned yet. Okay, so with this price action, I'm going to go ahead and get in. With just 2. Okay. And yeah, this price action is awful. And that's okay. We're gonna make some money anyway. All right, so where are we adding? Where are we selling? So you could see how at the very beginning of the day we had the volatility was 0.17 and we've cut that more than half, 0.07. So volatility is very small here, so we need to add a little closer. Volatility got crushed. Nice. I think, what did I say, 664 was in tomorrow's range. It's so funny because the overnight session is even slower than this. Like this is painful price action, but overnight it's so funny. Sometimes you just have to set an alert every 5 minutes. Make this money somehow. Yeah, we've got to pull it from somewhere. Somehow. Got to make this work. Let's just add a 1 here. We're in the green, we're pushing a little bit here. Let's see if we can hit that sell target. And this is just burning premium in options. Today's trading completely fueled by burning options. A pullback would be nice. I would like to see that too. A little pullback plus a little bit of volume would be awesome. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough trading right here. Because what is this? Yeah, this is crazy. That's what it is. Okay, I'm just gonna add one. So we got 4, still really small. Take a look at NQ real fast. A little more choppy today. Got chopped up a little bit there. All right. I might make this be my last trade. If it stays this slow, I might just call it a day. Because it's really beautiful outside right now, and I really love volatility, volume, and these are just really small gains here. Slow and small. You see this like really tight chop right here for the past 45 minutes. It's just not really giving me a lot of hope that we're gonna get a lot out of this today, you know. Hey David, oh my gosh David, you're here, and I'm just like, I'm about to call it a day. It's so choppy right now. This price action's really painful. It was a fun morning. All trades are closed green so far, but it's just really, really choppy here at this level. So I don't know. We'll wait. Watch how wild the price action is tomorrow. Yeah, it might be. Are you gonna shoot for 660? Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible. We'll just take it one candle at a time here. Okay, so this is good. I'll take 30 here. I think I closed it at 25. Again, we are at all-time highs, chopping around, so taking profits slowly, possibly getting back in. What do you guys think? Another one more, or? Hey, Unstoppable Mentality, how are you? It's been a really fun day, but it's just really choppy now. It's I'm considering calling it a day. But give me a few minutes, guys. I'm gonna take a really quick break. I'm gonna see what this looks like when I get back and decide whether I'm gonna call it a day here. Yeah, he's back, or she. I don't know. Yeah, give me 5 minutes. I'll see what this looks like when I get back, and if we see a little spike of volume, I mean, it is almost 1 o'clock. All right, give me just a few minutes, all right, guys? All right, that wasn't quite 5 minutes, but let's look at this. So a drop is possible? Absolutely, absolutely. Anything's possible with this low volume. All it would take would be, you know, a good big sell order. I don't think we're gonna drop. I think we're gonna stay sideways, and then really what I was thinking is that we're outside of the expected move on the day. So looking at SPY, we are up here, and the expected move on the day was 657, and it's 658 for tomorrow. And just because we are outside of the expected move without a meaningful pullback into the trading range, I just think we're going to close between 657 and 658. Maybe even higher if the market's feeling wild still, but it's that is where I think we're going to stay, unless we see some volume. And even on low volume, you can see a pullback. Sometimes a pullback is what brings more volume, but right here, you know, that's really what I would watch. I would watch for a little bit of volume, and right now we don't have any sell signals. There's no sell signals, so I wouldn't get too, you know, if you want to, like, if you're doing options and you want to sell spreads, I mean, we are just under tomorrow's expected move. We're at where are we? 657.62, so maybe 658, 659. But honestly, with this price action, that's even risky. We're not really seeing the volatility to move it up and down and out of it. So really, I do think that I'm gonna call it a day here. I want to be here trading Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4 or 5, if we have volume and volatility. But if it's like this, then I'm going to go and maybe watch from the sidelines and get back in if there's something. But this is really tough. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pull out like $30 in the next 2 hours. You know, I think I'm just done for the day. It doesn't make sense to go bigger just because of how high we are. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. It's lunchtime, but I will make sure you guys have your notifications on, because if I do see something and I'm in the mood to trade, I'll turn it back on. But for right now, we are holding, and you can't make a lot of money without volatility. So, all right, guys, that was fun. So I think I'll calculate my P&L across the 3 accounts, and I'm going to start posting that on my thumbnail. I did that yesterday. And bye, Rob. See you soon. And then we'll make some more money tomorrow and later today if it happens. All right. All right, guys. Awesome. See you guys soon. Thank you, David. Thank you so much for being here. All right. I'll see you guys soon.